David Meltzer. So if you haven't seen the movie Jerry Maguire, his whole life was based on that.
Show me the money.
Manifesting is commanding, which means working with. The word work is in there. You got to take action. You got to make it happen. But I believe that it's very important to still think about it, focus in on it, dream about it. But without conscious action, it probably won't take place. I felt the only way that I could free myself from that scarcity was to make a lot of money and buy my mom a house and a car. Because the only time I wasn't happy was when there was financial stress, which was almost every day, whether it was food, summer camp, cars.
He started with nothing and yet became a millionaire just 9 months out of law school and a multimillionaire by the time he was 32. But then he went broke. But then he made it all back again.
He was there and she was crying and she said, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pull us out of this. I had to learn to utilize fear.
Okay.
I don't leave it behind. I identify what I'm afraid of. I then identify what ego-based consciousness I'm prescribing to the fear of the past or fear of the future. That's all there is.
I feel like Jerry Maguire couldn't carry your bags right now.
I love that. Justine, you're a beautiful soul. I can't wait to meet you in person and give you a big hug. Thank you so much for having me.
So guys,
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited to have today's guest on. If you don't know him, you absolutely should. David Meltzer. So if you haven't seen the movie Jerry Maguire, his whole life was based on that. But just a short introduction, which I feel should be a long introduction. But David Meltzer is a legendary sports executive and formerly served as CEO of the renowned Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment Agency, which was an inspiration for the movie Jerry Maguire, as mentioned. He is one of the world's top entrepreneurs, investors, and business coaches. David has been recognized by Variety magazine as their sports humanitarian of the year and awarded Ellis Island Medal of Honor. David is also the executive producer of the Apple TV series 2 Minute Drill and Office Hours. He is also the executive producer of Entrepreneur's #1 digital show Elevator Pitch. David is featured in many books, movies, TV shows such as The World's Greatest Motivators, Think and Grow Rich, and Beyond the Secret, featured on Netflix. His life mission is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. I know he's doing this in real time, especially on social media. If you don't follow him, you need to go and stalk him. But this simple yet powerful mission that he has had has led him on this incredible journey to provide one thing: value. In all of his content and communication, that's exactly what you'll receive. And we are so lucky because we've got a 20-minute, I'm going to call it 20-minute life-changing episode today. So David, I've constructed some questions for you, but I'm so excited to tap into your brilliance. And just to get started, tell us a little bit about your journey, because there are people listening to us who unfortunately won't know your story. And if they haven't seen Jerry Maguire, they're absolutely crazy. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But over to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my journey is really one of three worlds. And the first one is a world where so many of us live in. It's the world of not enough. And it doesn't mean that you grew up poor like I did, with a single mom who raised 6 kids, packed my dinner in a paper bag, drove us around after she taught second grade just to fill up turnstiles with greeting cards at convenience stores. But it's a scarcity mentality that really so many of us live in. Where we're victims all the time. There's not enough of anything. No matter how much we have, there's never enough. And I lived in that, in a scarce environment, and became a victim where I felt the only way that I could free myself from that scarcity was to make a lot of money and buy my mom a house and a car. Because the only time I wasn't happy was when there was financial stress, which was almost every day, whether it was food, summer camp, cars, dishwashers, whatever it may be, rent. There's a daily frustration and interference. I call it a dis-ease in my life that I thought could be cured by making a lot of money. And after I graduated law school, I entered a new world because 9 months out of law school, I made my first million. 3 years later, we exited to Thomson Reuters for 3.4 billion. And the internet boom helped to assist the amplification of the success that I have, raising hundreds of millions of dollars. And then even personally, marrying my dream girl and having three beautiful daughters and being able to buy whatever I wanted when I wanted. In fact, 9 months out of law school, I bought my mom a house and a car. So in a weird way, I transitioned from not enough to a world that is very deceitful and illusionary. It's called the world of just enough for me. And I hear a lot of inspirational speakers and motivators talk about everything happens for me. And I was one of those in my 20s and early 30s. Everything happens for me. I'm an optimist. I'm a humanitarian. I do so much for others, but it's really for me. And what I realized was even in the world of for me, where there's just enough for me, that I lived in a zero sum game, that I was giving to receive, that everything was a trade or a negotiation. I truly lived with wisdom, but no faith that there's more than enough of everything for everyone. And in my journey, as you know, and many of you will learn, I had to lose everything, almost lost my life and my wife as well, but I lost over $100 million, went bankrupt to learn a valuable lesson that you don't live in a world of not enough. There isn't a zero sum game in the world of just enough.
Yes.
That if we pursue wisdom and faith, that there's more than enough of everything for everyone, that we can live in an infinite loop, an abundant, infinite, unified system of thought where you're protected and promoted by something much bigger than you, an omniscient, all powerful source that loves you more than your mom. And this transition, this transformation is one that I went through 17 years ago. And through the journey today in the world of more than enough, I'm on a mission, which is why I'm here to empower over 1,000 people, to empower 1,000 people, to empower 1,000 people to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. And Justine, you're one of those 1,000 from down under that's going to assist me in changing the world. And I wanted to thank you for an opportunity to share my story.
I'm so grateful and humbled. And I think it is law of attraction too. Your energy definitely attracts your tribe. But I'm grateful for your time. And as I said before, time is a commodity and it's something that we don't give back. You're such an inspiration to so many people globally. But you've had such an incredible life. And the one thing that I love is that you've owned it. And I always say I would rather learn from someone who's made it, lost it, and then made it again, because there's a level of transformation involved in that. But David, if I could ask you, what is a quote, if you had to pick one quote from everything that you've learned or done in your life, what is a quote that you live or die by?
Be kind to your future self and do good deeds.
Wow. Very, very powerful. I love that. And what is the hardest lesson you've ever had to learn and why?
Faith. I remember thinking I did everything myself, that I was in control of everything, that I manifested my own destiny through hard work and discipline and intelligence. But it was radical humility. That was the hardest lesson to learn, that I don't know what I don't know, and that wisdom is a key component, and hard work and discipline are all great partners to one thing. And that is the one thing, that I have faith there's something bigger than me that protects me, promotes me, and loves me more than my mom. That even when I lost everything, most people couldn't even imagine what it's like to lose that much money, to fall that far. But it was even worse for me because I had to go tell my mom I was bankrupt when the only reason I wanted to be rich was to buy her a house and a car. But I had forgotten to take my own name off of her title. So not only did I go bankrupt, but I lost my mom's house and she had to move. And when I went and told her, I thought it may destroy her, but it didn't even faze her because my mom had faith. She not only had faith in me that I didn't have in my faith, but she had faith in God. And when I told my mom at that time, I said, Mom, I just have to tell you, I don't believe in God. And my mom said, son, you believe in God. You just believe in the wrong God. And that was a hard lesson. It still brings me to tears today that I had such an ignorant arrogance about my success. And it's only been through radical humility that I have made back everything and more the right way by
Yeah.
having faith and wisdom, discipline and hard work, but knowing that I'm protected, promoted, and loved by something all powerful and all knowing has given me a different perspective in my life.
Wow. And it's actually interesting because you overstepped the next question, which I love, but it was actually share a piece of advice that changed the game for you and what's the hardest lesson you had to learn. So, but I mean, you've had, I've watched a lot of your content and I've read a lot about you and, all the content that you put out, but I love how your parents played a pivotal role, and especially there's stories with your mom about, the fake Rolex, like when they bought it for you for your bar mitzvah and you took it to school. But if you could share a piece of advice that absolutely changed the game for you in your life, what would that be?
Be more interested than interesting.
Mm,
And incorporated in being more interested is to have gratitude for everything, to seek the light, the love, and the lessons in all people, situations, ideas, circumstances, in events, and incorporate forgiveness for the trespasses that we make and the others make upon us. And the idea that I step on a stage or in a movie, a TV, a podcast, an interview with one purpose, to be more interested, to find the light, the love, and the lesson, and forgive myself for those trespasses that I have done and those that have been done to me. And it has changed my life. I want to listen for, I don't want people to listen to me.
wow. And I think you get them listening to you anyway, because it's just these concepts are mesmerizing. So thank you so much. And David, could you share a piece of unconventional wisdom, because you are so wise, that has served you well in your journey up until now? Because we are living in a crazy age. We're living in an attention age. We're living in an instant gratification age. And I feel like you've been there, done that. So what is an unconventional piece of wisdom that has served you well in your journey?
So many people try to understand what they're afraid of, and it's a waste of time. You know, what I find to be an easier methodology in order to stay on the trajectory, the divine direction, in the divine time of where we want to be or better.
Mm,
Number one, distinguish good and bad simply by good is all that is in the divine direction towards where you want to be or better, not where other people want you to be, not what's missing, not what you don't have. And bad is that which interferes with it. And so, one of the unconventional methodologies that I have is I don't try to examine what I'm afraid of. I utilize the instant and the obvious that interferes with my divine direction, my divine time. And that is my reaction to fear. You see, it doesn't matter if it's a childhood trauma that I'm afraid of, or a past life experience, a genetic or an energetic inheritance, or somebody cutting me off. I don't care what I'm afraid of. What I really want to know is that instant and obvious reaction to fear, a need to be right, a need to be offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, guilty, resentful, worried. See, those are obvious to me. So I have really let go of what I'm afraid of, and I look for the clues and the patterns of the instant and obvious reaction to fear. And then I use time as a dependent variable. As you said, that quantitative measurement of time, I use it to say, why am I spending days and weeks and months and years interfering with my divine direction, with my divine time? Why not just spend minutes and moments being angry? Why try to resist it and go over it, under it, through it, around it, overanalyze it,
mm,
deny it? Instead, I just stop and recollect, remind, and remember that source, whether it's spiritual, religious, inspirational, philosophical, or theoretical. I just say to myself, where do I want to be or better? And is this aligned with where I want to be? So I stop when I'm angry or any reaction as such. I drop down to center, I breathe, and then I roll into the divine. I roll into the divine direction and the divine time. In other words, when the instant and obvious fire starts within us, the mind, the body, and soul are on fire when we're worried, angry, resentful, guilty. Instead of trying to resist the fire, just stop, drop, and roll into your divine destiny.
I have shivers. Like, I don't know about anyone listening to this, but I absolutely have shivers because I'm such a spiritual person. So valuable. Hey guys, so if you are enjoying this episode, if you have gotten value from this episode and it has changed your life by teaching you things, I'm going to ask you a huge favor. If you would subscribe, like, follow, and share with people so we can bring more incredible guests to the Million Dollar Branders podcast to serve you better so you can make more money in your business, in your life, and accelerate your growth into becoming the $1 million brand that I know is possible for you. Thank you, and my greatest appreciation to you. A lot of the time in life as an entrepreneur, I know they have a term in Australia, and whoever's listening to this can hate me or not, doesn't matter, but there is something called tall poppy syndrome where it's like people want you to be successful, but just not too successful. And I don't know if it exists in other parts of the world, but along your journey, I've experienced even that people will doubt that you can actually do it and, you know, achieve and accomplish things that, and sometimes it's even ourselves, like it could be self-doubt, and some people call it imposter syndrome. Have you ever encountered this, and how have you overcome it in your life?
I encounter it all the time, both within myself and others. And I have a saying, you're limited only by two things. One, the meaning you give things, the meaning you give what other people think, what other people say, do, feel, or believe. But even worse, you're limited by your own self-image. You will never overachieve your own self-image. And so therefore, I know that what other people think about me is none of my business. It's only people that are wanting to be where I am that try to stop me from being what I'm becoming. And so I focus a lot of my time on understanding, aligning the meaning with where I want to be or better, and also expanding my self-image to the point that I know that even some of my beliefs are limiting, but I pick and choose what beliefs I have that are limiting that serve me best today to grow and expand, aggregate and accelerate in that divine direction that I speak so often about. So look at the meaning of your past and increase your self-image, and remember and remind yourself that, you know, it's not what other people think I am. It is what I am, and what am I doing to interfere with it?
Brilliant. And Jerry Maguire moment here, but can you share with us a pivotal moment when you had to bet on yourself against all odds?
Oh, there's so many times. I will tell you, you know, for me, when I lost everything, I walked into my house. We had a very large home. They hadn't taken it yet. I lost 33 homes and a ski mountain, a golf course. But I walked in and I heard my wife crying in the kitchen, and she had no idea I was there. And so as I walked slowly to the kitchen, she was speaking with her uncle, who I had known my wife since the ninth grade, and her uncle was my best friend's dad. And he was there, and she was crying, and she said, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure if if he's going to be able to pull us out of this. And I, you know, respect the fact of how scared my wife must have been.
Yes.
And I had a lot of work to do. It wasn't just the money. I had a lot of work to do on myself. And my wife's uncle said, sweetheart, I've known this boy since he was 9 years old. And he said, I can't wait to see what he does with his back against the wall.
Oh,
And everyone around me was doubting me. And to me, you know, I knew I had, what scared my wife the most was I had so much faith at that time as I lost everything. I'd been on a transformative journey that I had so much confidence in God and who I was and what I wanted to become. And I took stock in those values that my wife told me to take stock into, that I had reduced and dissipated the fear in my life. And I knew that this time I was going to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. Little did I know that I'd do so well that I would make my life's mission to help others do the same and think big enough, like I do today, that I'm going to change the world. And I say that with radical humility. I'm going to change the world by teaching people to have wisdom and faith to get us all to where we want to be or better.
So incredible. And you are definitely doing that. And now it's my mission too. So I feel like I could run a 30K marathon now. David, how important do you think it is to have the right partnership or relationship in life and business?
Yeah, you need to have three things in life and business. And one is a partnership. Everyone needs an intimate partner to be a liaison to other people, but also to be a mirror, to be able to be honest with them and to reflect where we all need work. And I will tell you, that is the number one thing that I got lucky or earned, or I don't know how, but I am with the most amazing woman for 26 years, coming on 27, 4 kids later. And I'm more blessed than I've ever been because she is my mirror, my muse. Two, you need to love what you do. If you learn to love what you do and learn to love what you don't like and learn to love what you don't love and learn to love what other people don't like and learn to love what other people don't love, and you do it every day and you do it without quit and you do it and enjoy it every day, life will tell you all its secrets. And so learn to love what you do and find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything and everyone. And life will give you the cheat codes. It will become easy. It will get rid of the dis-easy, I promise. And then finally, the most and easiest one is go find the best bed that you can afford. You spend a third of your life with your family and your friends. You need that intimate partner. You spend a third of your life in activity you get paid for. So learn to love it. But you spend a third of your life sleeping. And I've had a sleep coach for 17 years. I have an unwinding routine. And so symbolic to that, find the best bed. In other words, sleep well. You spend a third of your life sleeping and hopefully, as they say in Russian, shtuping, two great activities that will change your life. So find the best bed you can find the ability to learn to love activity you get paid for. And most importantly, find that partner as you expressed. And I promise you, you'll be happy.
That's incredible. Like so funny and brilliant. So thank you. And last question for you. What is $1 million brand to you?
The $1 million brand to me is self. And more important today than ever, that for the first time, every self and every cell has the ability to build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other worldwide. We have access to a community that we can't understand the size and scope and scale of the total addressable community of neighbors at our frequency, and our frequency is our neighborhood, is unfathomable. And so learn your essence. Learn to surround yourself with the right people and the right ideas. Build a neighborhood of your frequency, and you will change not only your life, but the biggest brand is yourself. Know your essence and capture it, modify it, amplify it, and perpetuate it, and attract and aggregate and exponentially grow a community of like minds that want to help each other and know people that will help you. Remember, if you build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that will help each other, they will buy from you and sell for you for life. And then nothing will help you become more successful.
Excellent. I feel like Jerry Maguire couldn't carry your bags right now, but
He's
thank
much better looking, I'll tell you that.
I don't know. We just got to get a good. I feel like I need to go out and buy a really good bed now and get some really good rest. No, but I'm honestly so inspired, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And we'll have to look after you very well when you come to Sydney, Australia. But thank you for your time, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Just for people listening, what have you got coming up? How can they stalk you, follow you, and learn from you? Most importantly, because you just got so much value to offer.
I have free Friday trainings worldwide. We have over 100,000 people registered every Friday. So the best place to start is come and join us. Email me directly, david@dmeltzer.com. I send my books out for free all around the world, but free Friday training, you can learn about the podcast and the books and the speaking and all of that stuff. You can Google my name, David Meltzer. You can download anything I do. That we've done 1,800 and some podcasts, 6,000 interviews. But the best place and the most powerful thing you can do is come join me or watch the replays. I do for more than 24 years, free Friday training. So email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Come and join our community of people that want to help each other and know people that help each other. And if you were at all stimulated by some of the ideas that I have, I share these for free every Friday, and the replays are available. I do them early and late, so doesn't matter where in the world you are, you'll be able to catch me, david@dmeltzer.com.
And I know everyone listening to this is going to go buy a great bed, so they'll be very rested and very ready to listen to you, which is perfect. Thank you so much, David. It's been an honor and a privilege, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
I love that, Justine. You're a beautiful soul. I can't wait to meet you in person and give you a big hug. Thank you so much for having me.
Likewise. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you.
Okay. That was so amazing. Thank you so much. Honestly,